Hello again, and the objective for this lecture is to be able to set up a trading screen ready to trade and looking broadly similar to the one that I use. So the objective is, and it's our second objective of the course, to have you set up and understand your trading screen. Hi, I just want to go over a couple of setup points on the MT4 trading platform. Mine, of course, is a spread betting platform, but these principles apply equally if you're using a Forex trading account. So I've already got the account downloaded from my broker, which is GKFX, and I double click on it to open up the software. And you can see I get something like this, and you would get something very similar. Waiting for update, not very good at all. So the first thing I need to do is to pull in the appropriate thing that I'm going to trade, which in my case is Great British Pound US Dollar from this side. So I simply left-hand click, pull that across, and there it is. It's now on my screen. I just use the button here to increase the size of it, and it still looks a bit crazy. It doesn't look anything like what I would normally use. Well, the thing that will make it change is, first of all, to move it to become not a bar graph, but a candlestick chart. And up on the top bar here, I've got candlesticks. I click on that, and it changes it. Still doesn't make it look very different. What we need to do is to zoom in. Now it's beginning to look more like. Just get it to a level that you're comfortable with. And it still doesn't look like the screen that I've been showing you in the training. So in order to move it to something like that, first of all, we right-click anywhere on the screen to get to Properties. Properties comes up, and we now have a choice of colour schemes. I tend to use white for the background, black for the foreground. I can leave the grids as light grey. For bars which we're not actually going to use, I would move that to green. And the bar down, I always use red for down. And bull candles again, I'll make those green. Bear candles, so that's downward candles, I'm going to use red again. And line graphs, I will use any colour that I please, which just happens to be blue. Volumes, I would tend to put to black. And we're about there. If I press on OK, it now looks something like that which we need to use. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to show you on setting up this trading screen is how to put the Bollinger Bands in place. And what we do is simply go across to the very top toolbar and look for Insert and Indicators. So then we go for Indicators, Indicators, move the mouse down, we're not pressing any buttons at this level, into the Trend area, and we'll see on the submenu that comes up, Bollinger Bands. Leave the defaults 20 and 2. You can change the colour if you wish. I generally have mine as sort of navy blue. And that's it. Press OK. There they are. So you should have a trading screen that now looks something like this. Let's explore it a little, and then we can move it on another stage to make it look like the trading screen that I use. First of all, let's think about what we're looking at. The main thing we can see are these candlesticks, which I've said we'll go into in more detail a little later. And also, of course, we've got the Bollinger Bands in place. They're the first of our indicators, and there'll be a whole section explaining what they are and how to use them to make money. But around the screen in more general, we've got, for example, across to the right-hand side here, I'll just denote it for you, prices. And those prices are the prices that this particular instrument, the pound dollar, has been trading at. And they would of course be different depending on the price of this instrument, and also different for different pairs of currencies and so on. But when we decide to put a horizontal line in, for example, at a particular price, which we'll do shortly, then that's where we'll do it. So the next thing we can do is actually start putting in some of those lines. I like to put these lines in at whole price numbers. So for example, 1.68, 1.70, 1.75, or whatever it happens to be that we're looking at. And it's very easy to do. Once again, I'll actually show you where to look on the screen, and it's up here on the top left hand side. There are a couple of little arrow or lines. One is vertical, one is horizontal, and the other is diagonal. We're going to use the horizontal line at this stage. And what we do is simply left click on that horizontal line and then move the cursor across, and you'll see that it's now got a little line under a plus sign. And we left hand click and it will draw a line, and there it is. So if I now double click on that line with my left mouse button and then right click, I get the opportunity to add and change the line properties. Here it is. So I simply left hand click on that, and the first thing I can do is change the color scheme if I wish to. It's a drop down menu, but I'm quite happy to leave mine in blue. I could also change the thickness and the type of line it is, or the thickness of the line there. The parameters tell me where to draw that particular line. And I've just put it basically near to where I want it at the moment, and I want it at 1.68 exactly. So I simply change the value in this box, get rid of the rest of it, there we go, and press OK. There's another change that I want to make, so go back in for a moment, and that is on visualization. If I click on that tab, you can see that this line will currently show on all of the time intervals that we can present on this particular chart. That's fine, but I don't want it. If we put these in on weekly and monthly charts, they'd be very crowded together. We wouldn't actually be able to see them anyway. So I'm going to click everything except those two. Just left hand click on them all. Away we go. Press OK, and there it is. And we're done. If I now double click on the line again, it will get rid of the draft version, and that will now appear everywhere when I put the lines in. So I want to repeat that process and put the lines in at the other whole numbers, so at 167, 169, 170, 172, and so on. And if I change from the 1 hour to the daily chart on this particular trading screen, you can see that they're already in place. There they are. And you can also see from this how that begins to frame what we're looking at. So we can now see that there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, and part of a fifth change, downward change in the price. And each of the candlesticks we're looking at is a single day in time, so we can see that for several weeks now, the price of the pound has been falling against the dollar. So within the basic MT4 trading platform and the facilities that come in the box, if you will, we've now put on everything that we need to use. From here on in, the indicators and tools that we add will be proprietary. They're actually put together by myself and the Forex Trader magazine people. So that's it for this video.